Back in 2021, I went on an adventure after Thanksgiving with family, and that led me towards Sebring, Florida, where I find myself in the 90s once more. Welcome to the Lakeshore Mall, a relative newcomer compared to the 70s classics we've been seeing on this channel. So if you like colorful pastels, this might be the place for you. Something for everyone. Lakeshore Mall was on track for a grand opening on February 5th, 1992, positioned across Lake Jordan from Sebring proper. Spearheaded by CBL and Associates, you could expect to find department stores like Belk, JCPenney, Bells, and Kmart with room for a fifth anchor. We'll get there. Belk would be the only newcomer to the region, while JCPenney, Bells, and Kmart were relocating from smaller locations elsewhere in Sebring. Floyd Theaters maintained their smaller location in Sebring proper, but also opened a 8-screen cinema by the mall's food court. The mall's first year went over well, as it reported to have over 5 million patrons. It also began to gather outparcels, and new big box stores like Walmart were beginning to open up nearby. In fact, the area would over time develop into a proper retail corridor, albeit with more spread out than others we've covered. However, as time went on, the Lakeshore Mall would find itself indirectly competing against the Eagle Ridge Mall an hour north, which I also visited this day, as well as the Port Charlotte Town Center, which I haven't visited yet. However, the mall did perform well enough to finally poach Sears at the end of July in 1999. In 2007, Lakeshore Mall announced that Highlands Sheriffs would be establishing a substation at the mall and would be bringing in deputies as part of their security detail. This was done in response to growing problems caused by teenagers loitering after hours by the movie theater. While no major fights had broken out, there were still many smaller incidents like pushing, shoving, and shouting at one another. To clarify, the teens were not being banned from the premises, but were advised to leave the property by 9 p.m., the mall's closing hour, unless they had a movie theater ticket. An odd move, but I have seen much worse. Although I did find an interesting short article from 2006 about a security guard who performed the Heimlich maneuver on a shopper when she was choking on a piece of carrot. That same year, though, the mall would gain a small plaza behind Sears, known as Plaza by the Mall, which would become home to smaller alternative businesses and services. But as the 2010s rolled in, decline would start to kick in, with maintenance issues cropping up and stores starting to close shop or relocate elsewhere. And after 22 years, CBL and Associates would sell the mall off to BVB Properties in 2014 for the low price of $14 million. BVB Properties did announce plans to draw in new stores and to address maintenance issues, going as far as to say that they would make the Lakeshore Mall the place to be in Sebring. While efforts were made, including announcements for seasonal events and smaller community events at the mall, Lakeshore Mall would start to see more serious hits come in, starting with Kmart in 2017, whom would announce a liquidation sale in November, before closing for the last time in January 2018. And Sears, surprise surprise, wouldn't be far behind as they closed in October 2019. And then JCPenney would close their doors over the course of 2020. Considering the state of these three department stores, there's not much that BVB could have done to retain these stores. After my visit, occupancy has continued to slide, and the mall is looking rather barren outside of its color scheme. I distinctly remember hearing about a hurricane that caused damage to the mall in 2022, specifically blowing out the shutter in the Kmart court, and I wouldn't mind some more details about that. I only saw one picture, and have lost that picture since, but man, that looked rough. There's also details about damage caused by Hurricane Milton more recently, though no mention of the mall was brought up in what I could find. However, this mall still has not given up, and it is still open. It's even got some more interesting tenants coming in, like Bean Armory. My kind of store if I lived in Florida. However, the wing going towards Kmart is almost totally empty today, with only a dentist being listed as open that way. But nonetheless, with Belk, Bell's, and the cinema still going, it'll be interesting to see how long this mall remains a spot on the map, no matter how small and faded that spot may be. Until next time, Sabering Florida, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Lakeshore Mall farewell and good luck in the future.